Hi, I'm Ben, and after reviewing Superman, here's something Spider-Man related. Um, okay, so as you knew, or for those of you that don't know, I do reviews I love Spider-Man. Like, I dress up as Spider-Man. I have a lot of Spider-Man posters, a lot of Spider-Man comics here. I love that webhead. I even have a whole collection over here dedicated to the old webhead. I love Spider-Man. Um, Okay, so so you probably already heard this, and I think I should have watched more videos, but here's what I know enough. For those of you who you probably heard of this, but Sandy, I heard about this before and I heard later, but they're gonna make a new animated Spider-Man series for Disney Plus called Spider-Man Freshman Year. At first, I thought it was what I've heard. At first, I thought it was going to be an animated prequel to Captain America's Civil War about Spider-Man and how he got his powers and how he learned to handle them. But that does sound like a mini-series, like a prequel to how he does it. Like, I can picture that mainly being an animated short. But apparently, it has been revealed, and it does make better sense. It's non-canonical. It's hard to explain. Like, it is kind of a prequel to Captain America Civil War, but it takes place in like an alternate timeline where it is based on Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man, but it's not in the same canon. Like, because it's later revealed that Norman Osborn will be his mentor instead of Iron Man, and they're gonna introduce other villains and other characters like from the Runaways in this, which is really interesting. So I'm really excited. So so as long as they know where this sets in, but yeah, chances are this exists in like another timeline, like kind of like the what if stories. Sorry, I didn't roll my eyes. I just looked the other way. Anyways, but with that said, I'm still really excited for this show. Which there are some. I will agree with that YouTuber I watched. There are some pros and cons. Like con, we're not gonna. It'd be disappointing to see. I really want to see what a prequel version would look like what he did to before he gets the spider, but when he got the spider bite, before he joined the Avengers in Captain America Civil War. But there are some pros, like it's a new Spider-Man series, and they can do other things. Also, they're gonna introduce new suits, like that white suit from the Future Foundation. That's gonna be in it. And Doctor Octopus is gonna be there, and Matt Groening's gonna suit up for Spider-Man, and is gonna suit up as Scorpion, and Charlie Cox is going to reprise his role as voice acting for Daredevil. That's pretty neat. So yeah, but actually this might be cool, still just as cool because it's a new Spider-Man series and they're going to try to do new adventures. Like one's going to be called Freshman Year and one's going to be called Senior Year. And this might be really cool because we get to see different Spider-Man adventures, like how he does this and this. Like this actually would look actually still exciting as its own Spider-Man show. I'm actually really excited to see this, and I actually heard they're gonna do a hand-drawn. It's gonna be hand-drawn animated, but they're gonna make it look like a Jack Kirby comic. That's cool because I love how in like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm starting to be really into those old comic book that vintage comic book art style. Yeah, whenever I see those, I'm actually a sucker for those, and I love those. But here it's more emphasis on hand drawn. That actually sounds actually even more awesome, because now it's just hand drawn, but still a comic book look. Like that's something I want to see. This looks like an awesome Spider-Man series. I want to see this. It is another Spider-Man in high school thing, and I think we saw a lot of that, like Spectacular Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movies. I kind of want them to do like a new Spider-Man series where he's actually maybe in his 20s, or he's finished high school and he's trying to get a job, or maybe he's already married. Like that sounds different. Like, cause we already see him in high school. Like lots of times. But I'm still excited for this series. I like that there's all the villains in there. Like, it's MCU Spider-Man, but they try to make it like the comics, where with Doctor Octopus, because I saw designs for it, and it actually looks really cool, like how it makes it like the comics. Like, that's cool, connecting to the MCU, but still make it like the comics. That's something I want to see. I like to see that. No, that... Well, I can't wait for that. Because if you remember, I used to do episode recaps. Like, maybe I could do episode recaps for this. But I used to do episode recaps for, like, the Marvel Spider-Man series that came out in 2017. And not a lot of people like that series. I mean, people still saw my reviews, but people really didn't care much for that particular show. I liked it okay. I can understand the problems. Like, the animation isn't the best. I've seen other people doing reviews, and I've seen other people, like even the creators and people working on the show even are aware that they don't like the art for this. Heck, they actually use fan art and other people's art for it. Well, that's disappointing. Well, I have high hopes for this show. Like, it's by the people who do the MCU shows, and hopefully it's by better people, and I'm hoping this will be a great show. So, well, I can't wait. I can't wait for this show, and I'm really excited. Um, but and that's my review. That's my thoughts on Spider-Man Freshman Year. I hope you see that. I hope you like it. It comes out in 2023, but still, I'm really excited to see that show, and hopefully we can see some new videos.